Welcome in this November earnings report with Ezoic display ads on our content network. So in November, we had 9% less ad revenue compared to October, which is a bit of a surprise, and we will see after why is it a surprise, but also how it is explained. Because usually in November we expect higher revenue, higher EPMV due to the Black Friday and higher display ad expenses from advertisers. We also experienced a 4% drop in web visits, which is the continuation of the visit drops we got from September, most likely due to the latest Google updates. And finally, we had also a 5% drop in EPMV, which is the real surprise and which is mostly driving this loss in ads revenue. So we made $175 with mediation, so mostly Google AdSense, $355 with the premium plan of Ezoic, which on the 4 stars plan, it cost us $220 and we made $355, so it is always a win. And with Ezoic standard ads, we made $1,160. So let's have a look at our earnings. Here is the chart with our earnings for the last year, the last 12 months with Ezoic, month by month. So month by month, as last year it started in December, we were having a high numbers in December last year. It was slowly going down beginning of the year. It went up with the end of the first quarter this year. It went down to summer, the lowest being in July, as usual every year, because in summer the ad spends are low. We have also low visit because everybody is on holiday and most of our network content is about business topics. And it went up until September. We had our highest peak like for this year in September, especially in terms of EPMV. We'll see later, these are only the earnings. And now we are down in November to $1,160 with Ezoic, $355 with Premium, and $175 with the mediation, so mostly Google AdSense. So what happened? Having a look at the numbers, we can also detail what happened, but basically our audience went down. So our highest audience of the year was in January with 450,000 visits, which of course brought more revenues, and it went down a little, up a little again in March, then down, slowly down. And since September, we started to experience a huge drop. So more or less half the visits now at the end of the year that we had beginning of the year. And this explains a lot our earnings dipping down. However, it's not all lost. We will talk later about what we can do to try to get these numbers up. Now, having a quick look at the EPMV. So to remind you, EPMV means earnings per mille visits, so earnings per 1,000 visits. This is the best way to measure how much money we made from website visits. So our EPMV actually is still higher right now than it was last year. So last year in December, we had our top EPMV for Black Friday with $7. Then it went down to $5 beginning of this year, came back to $6 in April, went down in May back to $5, below the $5 mark in July, back up to $5 in August, up to $740 in September, our highest ever EPMV on our globally on our content network. As a reminder, with AdSense, we barely had $1, so it's still 7 times more than AdSense, and now it's going slowly down in October $721, in November $685, which is a bit of a surprise because we expected in November to have higher EPMV due to the Black Friday, which is usually the period of the year where the advertisers are spending the most. So having a look at the ad revenue index for the United States, we can see here, for example, I am displaying for the last 1.5 years, but if we go back, for example, to or even a few years before, so for example, you can see in 2019, the highest expense was on Black Friday, Friday 29th November 2019. In 2020, with COVID, it was a little more difficult to understand, but still we had a high spending, the highest spending here. If I can, yes, Friday, November 27th, still was the highest spending of this year, 2020. In 2021, the same, and we had the highest global ad spending ever from advertiser. If I can get it, no, it's too high to get it. I have to zoom a little bit. So if we go here, the 100% mark, so the highest spending ever by advertisers was on Friday, November 26, 2021, which was the Black Friday last year. And this year we also expected to see something similar and even probably to exceed the number from last year, but it didn't happen. If we have a look on Black Friday, November 25th, we were at 67% of the level of ad spending that we had for Black Friday last year. It is the highest peak of this year for ad spending, but it is still pretty low, and this explains why our EPMV is not so high, and generally why publishers are not earning so much this November. The ad spending was not that high, and of course, it is probably due to the global event. The whole year we expected some more revenue, so it started here. It started in March. We had some global dips. This year was a bit bumpy, mostly due to the ongoing big war in Ukraine, and we hope that soon it will be back to normal. It will get better, and the advertisers will be able to advertise again and will not be afraid of spending. So this was our ad revenue. Let us know how your ad revenue went in comment, and what is your plan for the next year. So what we did actually was we worked on our EAT meanwhile, and we expect these changes to be visible in the next 6 months in the search result ranking. So thanks for your attention, and see you next month for the next revenue report.